What's up, world? What's up, world? The homie Webs back again. It's Sunday, Monday Eve, all that wonderful stuff. We back.
My lighting is terrible.
Leg is terrible.
Ah!
Your leg is
My
terrible.
lighting is terrible.
Your leg is terrible. Like, hopefully, you don't have to get an amputation or anything like that. But your legs being so
No.
terrible. Well, yeah, it's summer edition. Like summer generally slows down a little bit, but this summer not so much. Not so much at all. It's been a
This summer is a short summer.
facts, and it's again for everybody who will listen. Like this is going to be perhaps the toughest school year I think in American history. I'm not saying that to be like fatalistic or like dramatic, but it's going to be an interesting year. Not because of learning loss and these little made up vocabulary terms and stuff. Nah, not because of it. Just because I think the turnaround is going to be ridiculous, straight up and down. So we're going to try to do our part, Webs, little by little. CCSD is making this canvas turn, and we're gonna kind of again deep dive into shortcuts. A lot of people are asking people to do all this like sustained PD, which there isn't time in the day to do, and also like recharge one's mental faculties uh, successfully. So instead of like rebuilding everything, why not just reusing and adapting what you already have to the scenario, which is kind of what we're gonna roll with tonight, as always. So as always, we're gonna deal with this summer's whole thing is gonna be shortcuts to success. This is gonna be video and Canvas, and we're gonna rehash some old tools, and we're gonna meet some new tools. And as always, we start Webs with that: is there or is not the, is there are a benefit, but is there a benefit to watching videos as a software dev? Is there any utility to that? Is there any, do you watch videos first of all as a software developer? Is that some way that there's some place that you get information, inspiration, or connection with other people? And if so, like how so?
Well, I, like many self-taught developers, have a degree from YouTube University.
Indeed.
So, yeah, as a matter of fact, I was just watching a video on Friday about trunk-based development and
You
all the
said
different
Trump
advantages.
base?
Trunk.
Oh, I think you said Trump base. I was like, what is that
Uh,
like faking your way through software development or something? What exactly does that mean?
No, trunk-based development is where instead of creating feature branches off of your like development branch, because we do a thing called version control. And basically like which I would love to figure out a way to expand the idea of version control to other fields. Cause like especially with like team lesson planning, version control would be amazing, but it's not very accessible right now because you mostly they've started to develop or they have some like UI based tools around it. Like the concept itself is kind of odd in a way. I don't know, but it's really useful. So basically, the idea being, let's say you and I are sharing a document, and you write something in the document, and then we do what's called like you basically save it to this remote repository. We call it pushing, but you save it to this remote repository, and then I can pull down a copy of that document, update it, push my changes. If we're working on it at the same time and we push changes, and you're like a second ahead of me, then what I'll end up getting is a merge conflict, and it'll say, oh, Mike already changed that part of the document. Here, figure out whose words go where, and then let me know, and then push those changes. So, like, if you've ever worked in Dropbox with other people and then had your document mysteriously disappear, or people's changes aren't there, or sometimes it will report back to you that there's a conflict, it's basically like that, except I think it's a bit more informed. So you know kind of what's happening. It gives you more information, and it's not as much as a surprise. And you basically have next to no loss of documentation because it won't let you push changes unless you reconcile the differences. But if we were working, say we had several documents all in one folder, I was working on one, you were working on a different one, it would allow us both to push changes as long as they didn't conflict with one another. They weren't in the same document, the same section of the same document even. So anyway, version control. But so that's what trunk-based development basically just means. I'm not creating a feature branch that I merge in. We're all pushing to the same one branch at the same time, which makes it's better for a lot of reasons. But anyway, the larger point is video. I was watching a video about it on Friday. So yes, I watch a lot of video. Like video helps walk you through and hear from a person how to do a thing. Oftentimes when people are trying to write about a thing in like a blog post, there's stuff missing because they don't realize, because they're trying to think their way through it rather than actually walking through it. And I find when someone's actually walking through a thing, like on a screen share, they catch a lot more of the detail, and there might be little things they do that they don't realize that they're doing that get communicated because they're actually walking through the process. So there's that. Then also, to add another layer on top of that, the talk that I was watching about trunk-based development was actually from what is it called? Java Mexico. So a colleague of mine works in Mexico, and it was his talk that I was watching from this. It's like a group of folks that get together to talk about different tech things around Java. And it was cool because it's all in Spanish. So it was a group called Java Mexico that does talks every once in a while. In that same way, so it's also like a connection point. In the same way that we do this show and connect to teachers and everybody, developers and people in the tech industry do the same thing. So there's another talk that's like every Sunday called DevSlop, and it focuses on like security stuff. And so I watch that. I'm actually going to be doing an Ask Me Anything about cloud security at the end of this week on Friday for a group called Women Who Code Cloud. And then I'll be doing another talk for them in July for the same group. And so it allows like connection. It's a great place to learn and see demonstration and how different people do different things different ways. Sometimes written communication like a blog is a little faster, but it's not as accurate as it is when you are sharing over a video. You can pause it, go back, rewatch certain pieces. I think that's another really powerful piece when it comes to learning through video, is you have the ability to replay that thing over and over again. So if you get stuck or lost, sometimes when I'm watching, I smoked a brisket over the weekend, and it was my first time smoking a brisket in a Weber kettle.
I did not expect when you say I smoked. I was like, you would say something else. Continue. I smoked a brisket.
This is a PG-13 show.
But this is Las Vegas.
No, that's true. I smoked a brisket, and I had never smoked a brisket in a Weber kettle before. So I found this really cool dude on YouTube, and he had a beginner's how to smoke in a Weber kettle. And so it was a really awesome video that I watched, went back through, and got all those steps down, and it made it super easy for me to follow along and know exactly what I'm supposed to do. So yeah, video there are so many times when I'm like, oh yeah, I got that recipe from YouTube, or oh, I figured out when I swapped out the faucet on my bathroom sink. I did that mostly through YouTube. So YouTube and video in general, I think, is a really powerful medium for learning and sharing and connecting in any field, not just tech, not just education.
All right, so big facts. I mean, lots of parallels right through what you just said to classrooms. I would posit that you cannot have a Canvas course, nay, you cannot have a online course without video, which I witnessed.
I totally agree with that, yeah.
I witnessed a Canvas course that had no video in an entire module. There was no video whatsoever. And I was like,
oh, okay. Also for tech, Pluralsight is a huge website for learning. And Treehouse is another one I've used. Code Academy, all of those have videos, because how can you connect? Even when I was a curriculum developer, remember one of the things that I learned as a curriculum developer was when you're creating asynchronous content, showing your face and having your audience see a human face that's behind creating the content, hearing your voice, all that kind of thing, it helps them connect to you as a person and to recognize that oh, there's a real person behind this. And then it builds trust, and there's a ton of benefits to showing who you are on camera as an instructor, so that your content resonates with people a bit better because they kind of know who you are.
Big facts. So, I mean, that's kind of a dope tip to utilize when you're building content. I don't know why you would hide your face, but it is what it is. But again, I witnessed a course that was published that had no video in it whatsoever. which totally then relied on the English proficiency of the student,
And the teacher.
and the teacher, but the imagination of the student, right? So you're talking about, hey, I have to now think of how this looks through my brain. You're also talking about the situation where, again, translation is not 100%, right? So there are certain words that, when translated, they get close to the word and the original meaning of the word, but not totally there. So even like Immersive Reader or Google Translator or anything like that, even if they're right spot on, it is not going to be totally an accurate experience. But if I can see certain things, then I can generally, solve my way out of them. Even if I'm not I watched the video in Thai the other day, and I was just interested in the deal. I know no words in Thai. I'm just looking at how the person's making the food, and I'm like, okay, I can see that these are the steps. And if I needed to totally duplicate those steps, given finding the same ingredients just by sight, I'll be able to go and duplicate this menu item. So video, it's the most popular way of communicating on the internet. First and foremost, it's the most powerful way, in my opinion, given that those who are sighted see and learn things through sight most of the time. So it's almost impossible that one would be able to construct a course or an aspect of a course without the use of video. And since that is also something that, as a professional that is not a teaching professional, you still utilize video in order to learn, one would assume that that's something that we need to make sure that is included in all of the courses that we're constructing.
Also, a lot of products will do updates by releasing them on their YouTube channel. So like if there's new content that comes out, or if there's new like product features, sometimes like Microsoft has quite a few different like shows on YouTube that cover different specific parts of like their catalog of tools to help you get more familiar with them and build your experience and knowledge of that tool.
Big fact.
Also, look at WWDC. WWDC, because of the pandemic last year, is basically just a series of videos that people watch. It was the same way again this year.
Big facts. All right, topic 1. Let's talk about users and the fact that, video is user focused, because I'm just going to recount my current situation with my summer school kids. So every day we come in, I ask them, hey, what did you do last night after school? All right. And every morning, the 4 gentlemen that I have in the morning say the following: oh, I took a nap and then I got up and watched YouTube. They don't say they watched television. They don't say that they watched videos on. They say they watch YouTube in specifically. And hey, I watched this particular YouTuber, and he was giving away money, trying to have people hit a basket from XYZ or whatever. Like, all right, cool. Now, being an older person at this point, I generally go to YouTube for very specific reasons. I got a problem. Some video game trailer popped it up that I want to see. There's a new rap video that somebody dropped that I'm trying to dig. But these students use YouTube as their television. Like we watched television when we was little kids, right? And so Weber being, looking like a 15-year-old, I guess, also conveys that.
I mean, you're not wrong. I can't disagree with that. But I 100% YouTube is my television. Like when my roommate and I sit down for dinner, like we turn on YouTube. Like that. I have a few shows on like the CW that I watch, maybe a few shows that are on Hulu that are like network shows. But the majority of what I go to when I want something to do, I want to like veg out, watch TV, is I go to YouTube. Like I watch Seth Meyers, I watch Alex the Cooking Guy. What else do I watch on there? I'm totally drawing a blank at the moment. But there's like a ton of stuff that I watch on YouTube. Claire has a baking show, Sweet Heat with Rick Martinez, Binging with Babish, Basics with Babish, lots of cooking stuff. There's a couple like fitness folks that I follow, like Legal Eagle. There's a ton of stuff. Like I just, that's my TV. Like I don't really watch network TV. I attempted to while my mom was visiting. We tried to watch Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune because we do have an antenna, and so we do get some like basic television. But yeah, it was like super skippy, and I was like, I'm not even full with this.
I only watch. So I'm not a full on YouTube user like yourself, but I don't watch network TV. I watch everything. Anything that's on NBC comes on Hulu. So I can watch it when I want. Um, I'm a stream. I stream. We stream. I hate commercials, so I stream everything in that event. But also on my online consumerism tends to be news, and most news articles have video in them. And so they will go and
Mm-hmm,
have
mm-hmm.
an interview with the person that they're speaking about, or this is some background of the person. So no matter where Wall Street Journal, the Washington Post, New York Times, whatever, they have their own news divisions and their multimedia divisions that go and create that content for you because they too know that in the current age, having the video where I can just sit and watch gives me a depth of perception that simply reading the words cannot. And
Oh yeah,
especially
totally.
especially if you're talking about higher level concepts, watching a video of those high level concepts giving me. I love Vox for that reason. I like reading the articles on Vox, but Vox's multimedia is like one of my joys is sitting and watching Vox articles.
I I will give Vox the props on the quality of their video, which I actually think is largely attributed to what's his name, because I follow his channel, but I can't think of his name. One particular reporter, I guess, that worked for them that's no longer with them. I'll have to
Mm.
look him up because I follow his independent channel now. But here's my issue with Vox.
What is
They
it?
have a tendency to ask a question in their title and then never give you
Never
an
answer it.
answer.
Yes, this is true.
Yep. I hate that. I hate
Yeah.
that.
It's
I realized
clickbait.
I wanted to look at my list. I also subscribe to James Hoffman, who covers coffee. It's Okay to Be Smart, Minute Physics, Sax Logic, who's a dude who plays saxophone, Hank Green, Vlog Brothers, CGP Grey, ASAP Science, WTF1, SciShow, Number File, MKBHD, How to ADHD, First We Feast, Epic Gardening, Christiane Amanpour and Company. I
Oh,
follow that as
big
well.
big thoughts from Christiane Amanpour. She had the
Yeah.
ovarian cancer. So you don't watch the show, Christiane, but big ups. We get you in our thoughts and minds. Yeah. So super dope. Vox does have that problem, but I think that's clickbait. We had Miles Best. If you are someone who watches PBS program, Miles Best, who does the Above the Noise videos for PBS, we had him on the PBS show that I'm currently involved with on last Thursday. Really cool guy, super cool guy. Told us a interesting story about the fact that in high school he wasn't a very good student and had a administrator come up to him at the very end of the tail of his high school career and told and reinforced to him that it was the school's failure on there's a failure on the school's part, not on his part, for the reason why he wasn't as academically proficient, at least on paper, as he was supposed to be. So turned out fine. Very creative gentleman. Big up to Miles. And if you're a teacher, especially the Gen Z people, which I guess is an arbitrary, I don't know who Gen Z is because I'm an older millennial. What do you call me? What do they call it? A boomer, millennial, or some kind of
Millennial. I've heard us called millennials.
yeah. So, but you could pass for a not millennial old person though. You could like lie profusely, and people would probably believe that you weren't a millennial. So, given that
If I
I'm not,
hide certain aspects of my personality, yes, I could pass as a youth.
yeah, you wouldn't have no problems.
Yeah.
I also realized why you got the blue headphones. That the Filthy Dodgers probably was the motivation between that. So,
I actually I really like this particular blue that they've chosen for things because my phone is actually the blue as well. I
okay,
just happen to really like this ice blue color. It
okay,
doesn't have it works with my ensemble, but
okay.
I just happen to really like the
As
ice
long as it
blue.
wasn't the Dodgers, we straight. Um, the anyway, so again, the video situation is super powerful because this is the mode by which your students are interacting with the world. Generally, this is where they're getting their information. This is where they're getting their entertainment. So if we're going to be user centered in this situation, and there are lots of people pushing now for UDL and human centered design and all this kind of stuff in education. where you can't embrace those concepts without saying, I've now got to create my own videos and also acquire videos that are going to hold the attentions and the minds of our students, in my opinion, at least Webs. Mm-hmm. So in terms of that, you can't build a course online without video. I don't think it's
possible. Totally agree with that. I think, in fact, that you could build an entire course around one video, or at least a module.
That's what we're going to do tonight. So we're going to only use video. So we'll use a couple words and stuff, but we're going to kind of, this is generally the way that I do my work anyway. And there are probably people that are going to disagree with what I'm about to say, but you know, to each his own. I keep the text minimal. I do not personally enjoy reading a bunch of text for instructions. I had to go and fix my toilet about 4 weeks ago, and I go and get all the insides were bad, so I had to replace all the insides. So I go through and got to get this situation done, and I get this long piece of instructions that all are in these little tiny words, and they've got like these pictures that are out of sequence and they're not really specific enough or whatever. So I go Google the actual brand, and they have a YouTube channel, and the guy walks me through this is what this piece is. This is how you use it. You don't want to put this on backwards, because if you do that, you're gonna have a leak. But seeing a person walk you through each of the steps was far more powerful than me trying to figure out, as a novice plumber, what each of these things actually meant in the order in which I was supposed to do them. And so again, kind of to what you said previously, Webs, in the Ask a Software Developer situation, there is a power to actually being able to pause it and say, okay, do I have that piece? Yeah, this is what this is. My piece doesn't look exactly like this one. Is there a variation of this? Am I missing a piece? Is this piece damaged? Do I need to contact the manufacturer? Those kind of things.
So interesting. I have a similar story. This right here, the blonde wood thing right there. That is actually a Lori Wallbed, not sponsoring this, but hey, Lori Wallbeds, if you want to sponsor our podcast, then give us a shout. It's a Lori Wallbed. And the cool thing about Lori Wallbeds is, well, two things. One, they are Murphy beds that don't have any like springs or what do you call those things? They're on cars that make them go up and down.
Pistons?
No.
Shocks.
Hydraulics. There are no hydraulics.
Okay, you're talking about
6'4". There's no hydraulics or anything in that Murphy bed. So it's just like the way the wood is cut, it rolls down, it rolls back up. Mm-hmm. When you get one, the directions are all in a YouTube video. So you have paper directions as well, but it was so easy to put together for the reason you just mentioned. I watched Brian, or whatever his name was, go through and build the Lori Wallbed, and I could pause it, I could go back, I could rewatch a step, I could see exactly how he positioned it. So it's that combination of movement, sound, pictures that puts everything together to make it so easy to put together. It was one of the easiest things I've ever put together that I've gotten like that, including stuff from IKEA.
Facts. My brother called me earlier today. He was like, dude, are you watching Loki? I'm like, nope, I'm waiting till all of them are finished, and I'm gonna watch all 6 of them. Because I don't like the breaks in action. Other than one show. There's only one show that I watch like that. That's Mr. In Between on Hulu, because that show's awesome. But anyway, he was like, look, I just watched this YouTube video of this dude that broke down every scene looking for Easter eggs and showed you what all Easter eggs are or whatever. I'm like, all right. Now again, could you write a blog post about that? Yes. Does it have the same power and impact of me showing you exactly? Then I can go back myself and look at it and pause and say, oh, that dude wasn't lying. It is over there in the corner. That is the whatever, that's what we're talking about, right? So
was it Emergency Awesome? Was it New Rock Stars? Was it Straw Hat Goofy?
Okay, again, like your 15-year-old self is now like dominating this conversation, which is it's terrifying. But anyway,
it keeps us in touch with the youth.
Oh, indeed. I mean, that is a piece. It's just I will say this: my wife watches her church services on YouTube every Sunday. Or they stream their stuff through there. So again, people are utilizing this. I think the pandemic also made people embrace this and look at this in a different way. It made us look at that video in a different way. We started this show as a result of the pandemic, which is also kind of, ironic. But In the grand scheme of things, one of the things I think video also does, Webs, it just shows students they also can be producers of video. If you as teacher produce videos for your class, you can then say, this is now something that's accessible to you. You can also make video. There's nothing that's magical about the Green Brothers or, any of these other YouTube stations YouTube channels that people use. I think too often our students see themselves as consumers of video only instead of creators of said video.
So despite its issues, I think that's something that TikTok has done well, is like it made it so accessible. And I mean, there was stuff before that for us olds, like Vine. Even like Instagram had short form video. YouTube has now moved to short form video. And being able to cram everything into 1 minute is an art form, in my opinion. And it makes it so easy that everything, all the tools for editing that you need are built in to the platform. And even like, so one of the big problems was closed captioning. So closed captioning makes it so that videos aren't accessible, right, to people who are deaf and hard of hearing. And people had started doing their own closed captioning on videos so that they were accessible to other people, which I really thought was, it gave me hope for humanity, that people, there are a lot of people who won't put up videos unless they are closed captioned, because the idea being like, it's convenient for me as a hearing person. I can just opt out of doing closed captioning and it doesn't impact me. But a lot of people were really adamant about it shouldn't matter whether it impacts me or not. Like, I should be willing to put in the work. If I'm going to create the content, I should be creating content for everyone. And so in response to that, TikTok made it so that you can just will have closed captioning on your videos. You don't have to do it manually. You don't have to go to an outside source, because it was taking people extra long to be able to do that closed captioning, because it does take effort. So they just rolled out this feature where it'll close caption your video for you automatically. And then you can go in and edit it and change things. And that way the closed captioning is the same for everyone as well.
Also, closed captions is just not, I mean, again, I can't watch movies or anything without closed captioning. Also, if you're at work and you don't want to put the volume up on a video, having the closed caption there so you can watch it without sound and still get all the content is also super, super, super. Right now in summer school, because I got the new iPad Airs, shout out to Extraordinaire, and shout out to Janine Collins, shout out to Sean Parker, for blessing me with those. But they totally forgot they don't have headphone jacks anymore, right? Not native. So suddenly I make all these videos that the kids can't watch without disturbing other people. Closed caption solves that. Now, does it also create a conundrum? Absolutely. So now I have to be able to be literate in order to access the content if I turn the sound off. So it does create a conundrum if I'm somebody who's not literate in English. If I'm somebody who is it's unable, say you create a highly technical video, and perhaps that vocabulary is not something that's going to be accessible to the people that you're dealing with. So that's another thing to think about as you put your videos together. If that person had to turn the volume off, is the language still accessible in terms of just the vocabulary that you use, the enunciation, the pronunciation of the words that you use, that if I could not hear your voice, I'm still going to be able to duplicate your process. Anything to add on that, Webs?
Just that if you run it through something like YouTube and either make it private or unlisted, then you'll have the closed captioning automatically. And it may not be perfect. It may require some practice to make sure that your diction is sufficient, that it's actually captioning your words accurately. But something like that would make it so that you have the access of closed captioning without having to manually close caption all your videos.
And if you want to do TikTok style videos without doing TikTok style videos and you happen to have an iPhone, Clips does a very good job of mimicking a lot of that stuff. And you have the closed caption function that you can edit right inside of the app. So if you're not familiar with Clips, that's one to kind of play around with. There's tons of really great PD already created on YouTube. Plug for YouTube, that will show you how to do the clips. And Apple does their own they do a very good job of ensuring that those things are there as well. So shouts. Let's get to the meat of this subject here, Webs. So in terms of the deal here, what are the Canvas implications for the video? And as Webs kind of alluded to previously, you can build whole modules just based on one video, two videos, whatever. let's not get wrapped up in the Canvas, the tool. Let's get wrapped up in the goal of why you're teaching. So what's the goal? How can we get the kids to the goal? If that does that take 3 pages to do? Does it take 5 pages? Does it take 7 pages? Let's not also misconstrue length of a unit or module for quality, and misconstrue the fact that the shorter the length, sometimes the more powerful, more quality I'm going to have in terms of how things run. And the longer the length, perhaps I'm just repeating myself. Again, it gets back to the idea of Twitter takes skill. 5-paragraph essay in which I just repeat myself multiple times because I'm just trying to get to the 5 paragraphs because you said I have that 5 paragraph. Maybe not. Go ahead, Webs.
Oh, I was just going to say, think about the professional learning you have to sit through that you hate, and don't do that. Like, keep it concise, keep it fast. There are statistics that show, people's attention span is limited. The reason TikTok is so successful is because a video is only 1 minute long. So draw on that. We have evidence that shows that these short little chunks stick much better than super long form stuff. So take advantage of that.
And take advantage of the fact that you know your user. Your user likes video. Your user likes to be entertained in a video. You can still bore somebody on the video. You can still, and I'm going to like, okay, fam, what is the point here? So again, that goal, being goal oriented. What is the point of the video? The point of the video is to show you how to do X. Great. Let's move to that goal. All right, so that's the first kind of Canvas implication. As she said before, you can teach an entire module off of one video. It is more than possible. It's more than plausible. I'm going to show you some tools that allow you to do that. Remember, when we're building in Canvas, we should always be thinking asynchronously. If I were to be removed from the scenario, that kid didn't come to school, how exactly would I go and navigate that content? So you have to be thinking all the way through. Again, and that's where the blog post kind of falls short. That's where a lot of the, just the talking falls short. Having to create a video is you walking them from zero to hero and not skipping any steps. And that is the super most powerful thing I think that video allows you to do, is the really, if you want to do tutorials, you can do a genuine tutorial like you're sitting right next to somebody using YouTube or video or whatever we're dealing with. Anything to add on that, Webs?
Nope.
All right, super dope. All right, let's go to the option situation here, Webs. And there are tons of options, and I kind of cut them down to how many I got here? 4. All right. First and foremost, Webs, do you have to create your own video to do this stuff?
Definitely not. Take other people's content. People like SciShow and Kurzgesagt are great educational content, and they have entire staffs behind them to produce high quality animated videos, or not always animated, but high quality videos with great graphics and animations. Take advantage of what they are offering. Don't try to compete with that, because you are one person. You cannot do all of it.
Absolute facts. Not only are you one person that can't do all of it, the smartest people in the world get other people to do their work for them. So, Jeff Bezos don't ship Amazon boxes. Now, that being the case, not that he didn't at one point, but now that he's selling rides on spaceships for $28 million, I mean, the homie is he's above the box shipping. Let's take a look. This is where we're going to start, just because this is an underutilized. Shout out to PBS. I'm doing work with these youngins right now. These are my homies. These are my people. And if you didn't watch PBS growing up, you probably didn't grow up in the United States. You're talking about a trusted source that's going to have tons of stuff that's already built for you. And you will see on the screen here, video, media gallery, video. It's all, there's stuff already there, fam. I didn't got to do squat. All I have to do is come up here and say, look, I want, I don't know, even though he's overrated at this point, Ken Burns, because I know he has a bunch of stuff in here. So Ken Burns Classroom, there's all Ken Burns stuff. All right, cool. This is all this stuff. You got video and stuff here. You got media gallery. You got all this kind of stuff here. All right, boom, 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 boom. Plenty of stuff for your classroom. Now, Uh, complication. The cool thing. Let's take Civil War and Reconstruction since Juneteenth just popped off. All right. Let's say a house divide is what we're going to deal with. What you will notice is that I can assign that, I can share that directly to Google Classroom, which unfortunately is now defunct in the Clark County School District. So that option is not there. So how else could I get this video to my students? So very first thing, I can do the assign and share. If I click that, I can build classes inside of PBS Learning Media. Probably not the best way to do it, because now that's another place your kids have to be able to deal with stuff. Probably not the most convenient way, right? I can send it to Remind. Why would I do that? I can email it to kids. It's interesting. I can send it to social media, but kids are not going to be on social media in school. And if you have certain school sites, you can't even get on social media yourself during school, which is also very interesting. But I can hit that quick assign, and that quick assign is going to give me the ability to copy the link directly to that resource. All right. I'll hit that copy the link deal. All right, cool. Also can favorite it so it saves there. Also can go directly to that website, directly to the resource up there at the top. So I mean, it's always an option as well.
Also, like we talked about last time, having these resources in the event that you have to pivot maybe back to Google Classroom, knowing that you can share it there is something to keep in the back of your mind, even if you're not using it right now. Because that layer of abstraction where you have all the resources independently and it's just a matter of sharing them to the right places versus you invest everything in a learning management system, you build everything there, you save everything there, and then you have to worry about, getting it out of there later if you should have to pivot. This would fall under that same thing. Like, copy that link, put it in like a Google Doc or something so that you can search for it later, and you have a whole file on Reconstruction or whatever, that you can then repaste as needed.
So here up at the top, I got my folders. So I can build folders directly in PBS Learning Media. So if you've got a unit, module, whatever, an idea, whatever that you want to deal with, come on. I can build all my stuff inside here. So you'll see how I got all these wonderful things, wonderful, fine, dandy. So this is another place rather than Wakelet is a good place to build your modules and things like that. Anything that's going to go and allow you to organize your information, your ideas, again, outside of Canvas. So if Canvas blows up, Canvas doesn't work. That's another thing. If Canvas goes down during the day, you are still covered. I can still say, cool, I'm going to shoot you a link really quickly and we can do what we need to do. Possibility with everyone going to Canvas next year of it failing at some point, I would say 115%. Having your stuff backed up someplace or having the parallel scenario in which, hey, I've got a Google site set up that mirrors the modules that I'm teaching. So if that were to blow up, now if Google goes down, then we are probably in the dark ages again, and get your Lord of the Flies book ready and start reading, about Piggy and friends, because we're going to have to go to war. But generally, I would say keeping your stuff in Google, keeping your stuff on websites that have been around for years, i.e. PBS Learning Media, Discovery Ed, which we're going to see in a second. They have tons of videos and things in there. I'm not that big on it, Discovery Ed, but people like it, and the state pays for it, district pays for it, somebody pays for it that is not you. So it's there and something that's usable. But let's go and check out. Let's kind of go to our Canvas instance here. And so when we deal with the Canvas deal, again, once I get my ideas done, I like the aesthetic. So you see, I have like the gift and stuff like that. Don't get into oh my goodness, I gotta have stuff moving and crap. You don't, literally, you do not have to do this. Just throw your crap up there. What I would say is make sure you do your instructor thing is on whatever your homepage is, just because I think it humanizes you a little bit. You don't have to make up a large bio, but that's some stuff that I dig. And hey, click that and send me an email, kid. All right, whatever. Now you'll notice here on the left-hand side here and this is the instructor view. You're going to notice that I've got a bunch of video things that we're going to look through, but Discovery Ed is over there on the left-hand side as well. So Discovery Ed is something that can be utilized whenever to bring it in here. We're going to show you how to do that in just a moment, but we're going to take this PBS thing that does not have a LTI plugin and put this inside here very quickly. I'm going to make sure I'm not going to save this. All right, cool. Wonderful, fine, dandy. Let me go and add a module. All right, cool. So let's call this Um, all right, great. Add that module. Plus sign. All right, now in terms of how we want to build pages, this is totally up to you. You can make one page module that's just an assignment. Nothing stops you from doing that. Like literally nothing stops you from doing that. You can make it a quiz. Nothing stops you from doing it. File, it's not a file, so you can't do that. Page, you can make it a classic page. You can make it a discussion, a one-page discussion. Text header, not going to be able to use that. External URL, yep, I can send the kids directly to PBS Learning Media directly the way that I'm going to do it, which is what I'm going to choose to do at this point. But I could just make it an assignment, put that link to the video there. The kids watch the video, have all the questions or I want you to build a new logo for the Union and the Confederate armies, given what you just learned from the video, and explain why you chose the certain images for the Union and Confederate Army, and have the kids turn that up with the assignment. Totally, actually, that's a good idea. Let's do that, Webs. The assignment, and I'm gonna call it. This is when I'm actually gonna go and I'm gonna do like a further thing on, because that's kind of dope. Rebranding the war. Let's do that. That's kind of a dope idea. All right, cool. So I'm gonna make this an assignment. So cool. I can add whatever rubrics and stuff, and we'll get to that later on at some other point, some other show. But I'm gonna go up here to the edit button. Bada bang. Now, every last page has this same setup. So this is what I'm saying. Anytime I make a page that's not a text header, I'm gonna need the same setup. It's just the purpose of the page is gonna be different. But in terms of me inputting to the page, same deal. You will, watch the following video and then rebrand the different sides of the Civil War by creating an original logo. Your logo must be clear, be explained. Totally making this up right now. Utilize the color schemes of the combatants. All right, cool. 3 things, wonderful. Now I'm like, what's missing here is just kind of whack. Hit the return key. Come up here and I'm gonna hit the images. Unsplash is built in, so I don't have to go and download anything from Unsplash. Let's see what the Civil War pops up. Should have said American Civil War, but whatever. That's definitely not it. That looks like a reenactment of some sort. Let's use that. Yep, looks like a reenactment, so we're good. There we go.
It wasn't an actual photo from the real Civil War that's in color.
Perhaps, I mean, perhaps this lady she did some like Loki type stuff and went back and took some pictures.
So interestingly enough, one of my coworkers does recolorings of old video footage. So video footage that was in black and white, and then has a program that he runs that like adds color based on, I don't know, magic or something. It's super cool. It's super cool.
That's dope.
I feel like we should do a whole episode on fonts.
Yeah, because fonts are fun. Fonts are super fun. All right, cool. I'm going to do that. I'm also going to...
Why are you making those caps?
Because I'm going to link this following video.
Did you do a shortcut to get it to link?
Command K.
Oh, okay.
So
that's handy.
Generally, all right. So this is a quirk that I do. There's not something you have to do. So what I notice all the time, even though I would tell kids, "Hey, look for the blue words. The blue words are links. Blue words are links. Blue words are links." Kids would never. Mr. Lang, where do I go to do X? You look at the blue words. I would continue to answer the thing. Now, like, if you look at that sentence, the most peculiar thing in that sentence is following video, right? That's totally different from everything in there, not only in color but also in size. So generally now kids will go and say, when I don't link the video natively, when I can't embed the video into the page, yo, that is weird. Why is that? Oh, that's where the following video, that's the video I need to deal with. All right. I also, just because some kids are going to click that picture, I also, if I use an image and I link the images generally to resources or whatever as well, just so if I click a picture on accident, I still go to where I need to go. That's just my quirks. I don't know if that's actually like something that you're supposed to do or whatever. That's just what I do.
I mean, it's a pretty common pattern to use images as links.
So super, I mean, that's something I would definitely, continue to do then. I'm actually going to go to image options here as well. All right. So alt text, line, people riding horse. If you use the unsplashed version of the pictures, which you should, it will give the alt text by default. So you don't have to worry about describing the picture. Now, if you wanted to add something to the alt text, you can do it that way by just clicking in image options. Yeah. All right, here we go. So great. We're talking about the Civil War. I can add more information to this page, other videos or whatever, but is this a module in and of itself? Yeah, I would say so. I can put an introduction on there. I can do what I needed to do. The assignment is there. Don't forget to do this. Now, this is the part with the assignments you don't want to forget to do, the submission type. Generally, you're going to either have the external tool or online, very rarely on paper. All right, online, I just check everything other than student annotation generally. So you want to type it, great. You want to go add a website URL, great. You want to record something in media recordings, great. You want to upload something, great. Media student annotations, this kids are going to be writing on a document or something and upload it, so I don't do that. All right, I don't care about that. Unlimited attempts, why not? Now, this is something that's really dope. Do you want a kid to have someone review their work before they turn it in? Generally, that's kind of a cool idea. I do that automatically so that kids do that thing. How many reviews? I want every kid to have at least one review. You can say when you want the reviews done, and I want those reviews to be anonymous. I don't want the kids to know who reviewed their stuff. I don't want no retribution or beef or anything like that in general. All right, I'm gonna assign that to everybody. Hit the save button. Unless you're going to if you manually assign the peer reviewers, then you say, Bob, Jill is going to look at your paper or whatever. But the anonymity thing, I think, gives kids the freedom to actually state truthfully, hey, this wasn't as cool as you thought it was, or this was really dope or whatever, and not fear reprisals, in my opinion. What say you?
Agreed. Sorry, dog's hacking up a hairball down here.
It's all good. All right, so I got that deal in there. Videos there. We're good. It's going to be peer reviewed. We're good to go. Instant video. Good to go. Simple. All right, let's do something else. I'm going to go back to the modules. Now, there is video that's built inside here, but before we get to the video that's built inside here, our friends at YouTube, right? Oh, that's me and Henry Louis Gates. I didn't realize that. So if you shout out to the homie. Henry Louis Gates, I might have to holler at you at some point. You're probably not watching this show either, but it is what it is. Now, in terms of video, and I'm not going to do one that PBS has done. So I use this video to do storytelling. This video is super awesome. It's going inner workings. It's from a crew in Mexico, I believe. There are no words to the video. It's really, really cool. It's one of the videos we're doing storytelling in the afternoon. And we watched that video as a kind of looking at the parts of a story. But this is a super dope video. All right, anyway, the cool thing about YouTube videos is first and foremost, they're going to have those closed captioning native. If there were words, the closed caption is going to be native to it. All right, I can also save and create playlists and stuff for them. So if I'm going to deal with like entire playlists, you now can embed entire playlists into pages. So that is super dope. If you had a whole playlist of videos you wanted kids to watch, which again will allow you to make a one-page module. All your videos are in one line. Watch video after video after video after video. You're good to go there, but we're going to not do that. Hit that share button. We got the embed code there. but I'm not going to use the embed code because in Canvas we don't need it. So hit that copy button. Come back here and I'm gonna go back to my modules, plus sign. All right, let's say assignment again, and let's call this no words. Oops. Great. Add item. Wonderful. Click. Now, I'm not going to go through that entire process again, but say I just want to add the YouTube video just with no problems. Come up here to Canvas Studio, and Canvas Studio is going to have all of the videos that I have uploaded so far. Bada bing. I'm just going to hit the add button, put the YouTube URL in there, add them. That's the video, select it. I always allow comments because I want to see if when kids are actually doing it. This lets me sidestep the discussion page, right? I can have kids discuss right on the YouTube video, right inside Canvas. I don't need to have the discussion page anymore. So allow that, embed. All right, cool. So I got the video there. There are going to be comments. The kids can comment right underneath the video. And the good thing about the comments is it's going to notify me of any replies because I'm going to subscribe to all the comments. So bada bing. It's also going to tell me at what point the kids commented, which is also beneficial in terms of having a discussion. Perhaps this is a technical video and I had a problem with, I don't understand how to do this part of the video, Mr. Lang. That kid can comment at minute 127. I can watch minute 127. Oh, okay, cool. Let me go and now I can reply to the kid, yo, you need to have XYZ tool, or let me go walk over to your computer. Let me show you how to do it. Because I'm going to get an email every time some kid replies. If you subscribe to the comments. If you don't subscribe to the comments, it's not going to let you know that somebody did that. So the optimal use of this, in my opinion, is subscribe to the comments. And that way kids can have the opportunity to, in real time, watch video and reply in kind to the video. Webbs, what say you?
I think that's awesome because then you also don't have to worry about like other people in YouTube comments. It's kept as this like sort of closed audience with just the students in your course.
Yep. Also, I can see the details to the video. So it's going to go and give me that short deal. I'm the one that put it in there. Great. I can edit the details of that video if I needed to. This all comes from YouTube. But say I wanted to have a scenario in which I wanted to change the title of that thing or add ideas or whatever to that deal, I could do that as well. Cancel that. All right. The insights, it's going to show me who I don't want to show names, but it's going to show me who watched it and how long they watched it for as well. So this gives me that YouTube, some of the YouTube tools without having to go to YouTube. All right. Then the captions. So if I wanted to upload, say for some reason, the captions will come over from YouTube, but say this is a video that I uploaded myself and I had an SRT file, I could upload that SRT file right up here and do what I need to do. Videos, I'll show you the other deal here. You can also have inside of the Canvas Studio will generate its own captions as well for you. So that's another deal we can deal with. All right, so cool, wonderful, fine, dandy. That's the deal. Great, I'm done with it. Fine, YouTube video is there. All right. Also inside of Canvas Studio, while we're here, you can record your own video right inside of Canvas Studio. So if you wanted to just record something and say you totally forgot something, you get to school and you're like, oh, I really need kids to know this little bit of take this thing. Hey, yo, this is Mr. Lang. I totally forgot that today you are going to need to use Adobe Spark. It will let you do what you need to do. All right. And if you hit that record button, you can both screen capture and webcam capture. So you can actually record your screen, have that pop right inside there. Are you going to be able to edit the video and stuff? Not. But is it great in a pinch? Absolutely great in a pinch. All right. The other thing you can deal with is just browse files that are native to your device. So if you just want to upload a video, bada bing, you can do that. It's here as well. All right. Super dopeness. So that's YouTube. That's generally how I use YouTube videos that I don't create. And you will notice I've got Bloxels, I've got this setting. It has my name on them, even though there aren't. It's just because I uploaded them. Excuse me. So I got Bloxels. That's an actual video that I did myself. That's an actual video I did myself. That's an actual video I did myself. That's an actual video I did myself. But all the ones, What Makes a Hero is not by me. But most of the videos I do myself, which it is what it is. Because making videos is fun. And teach a person you should be making videos because making videos is fun. All right. Okay. Anything to add, Webs?
No, I'm good. I'm sharing these as tweets. So if you want to check out some of the highlights from this, you can check out our Twitter at Trust a Hoodlum.
Bet. All right. So I'm going to go and speed it up just very, very quickly. Now, in terms of this, the other things we have inside here is we have Discovery Ed built into your instance. All right. Now, you got to enable cookies and all kind of stuff in order for Discovery Ed to deal with, and you got to do that, I believe, for every instance. All right. You click that. All right. Close window. Continue to set Discovery Ed. Now, this is just making sure that this works. You're going to go and put your stuff inside there, whatever. I'm not going to do that right now. But Discovery Ed and all that Discovery Ed has to offer is available to you if you're a Discovery Ed user. God bless America. Nearpod. You also have the ability to use Nearpod inside here. And I'm not going to do this because I don't want to permanently combine my Nearpod with my Canvas instance. If that's something that you're comfortable with, God bless you, or whatever, I can always just embed the Nearpod videos inside here. But if you got to become a situation where Nearpod is something that you use all the time, that's another thing that you can deal with. The most intriguing deal to me, though, is Edpuzzle, just because Edpuzzle gives you a lot of the funkier aspects of YouTube, but customizing those. And so if you've never used Edpuzzle before, this is another way you could use one tool, create your scenario where it's a one-page module and keep it moving. So I'm going to log in, and I'm going to log in, of course, as a teacher. I'm going to log in with Google. This one, that's the one I want. Bada bang. So I've got my videos inside here and whatnot. And that What's the Logo is actually a baller film. It's just a little high for kids, so I gotta, deal with that, but whatever. All right, here's that TED Ed film that I've used. Other people have already built, so I've got 3,000 other examples of people utilizing this for a lesson. So if I didn't want to do my own original thing, I can use one of these 3,000 people. This person has 17, so say I take Diane Martucci's, and I say, what does Diane Martucci have? All right, these little bullets here are all questions. So she has open-ended questions embedded all the way through. So this becomes an active lesson, not a passive one. I don't know the quality of this lady's questions at all. Let's actually see. So if I click that, what's the first one? What do modern heroes, which is misspelled, have in common with ancient heroes, which is spelled correctly, which is interesting. So that's not a very dope question. I'm not hating on you, Danielle Martucci. It's just that's not a very dope question. So I'm going to go back and say, you know what? I want to build my own stuff. Now, if you'll notice here on the on the right-hand side, which Webbs and I, this is one of the rare occasions where something is on the right-hand side that I want. So I'm going to move us over. All right. What you'll do is you'll see the assign button, the edit button, the duplicate, the share preview, and delete. This is public right now. So I'm going to hit the edit button. And all right, so these are the questions. I don't like inundating kids with questions while they're watching videos because then it takes kind of like that's jerky, stopping and going, right? And making the questions somewhat of quality, right? So the questions I came up with, it was just a note first. Before we get started thinking about your favorite movie, book, or television, I wanted to kind of center them in, okay, cool. I watch Rick and Morty. I watch SpongeBob. I watch whatever the devil I watch. A minute in, I got a question. What do you think to use the idea of a clock? Open-ended. And then 2 minutes and 44 seconds in, did the movie, book, or television program you had in mind follow this pattern? If so, how? Great. Bring that, and then we end. But I don't, generally 3 to 5 questions. But if you've got like a tick every 2 seconds here, Webbs, I think that kind of messes my experience trying to watch the video. What say you?
Yeah, I think it gives you whiplash. Like, it's hard to process information when you're stopping every 2 seconds to like have to answer a question. It's hard to like take in what's happening, allow yourself to get immersed in it. It's like watching a movie with somebody who is asking questions about it every 2 seconds. You're like, just watch the movie.
Yeah. You don't know if your question is actually going to be answered because you're running your mouth while I'm watching the movie. Or
exactly,
if you're watching the movies, you're both watching the movie for the first time. This person's asking you questions like you watched this movie 20 times. And you're like, dude, I don't know. Be quiet so we can watch the movie. And I just missed something because you were talking. Indeed. All right. So why Edpuzzle up here at the top, you'll see that you can voice over videos. Oh, so it's blocked now. You used to be able to voice over, which you could still do, just not on this platform, but it is what it is. So you could upload your own video, but you go, okay, I'm not going to show you. I'm actually going to tell you because yeah, download the video, voice over it, upload the video again, throw this thing inside there, and you're good to go. So if you wanted to be quasi, you wanted to push the bounds of what you could do with YouTube videos, that's what you could do. If you just wanted to voice over the thing. Now, I don't see the value in voice over in YouTube videos that already have people who are explaining stuff, but it is what it is. If you just want to do that. Again, the bang for the buck is the questions, all right? And you've got 3 options, multiple choice questions, which I loathe. Open-ended questions with, give somebody the ability to go say what they believe, and then just adding notes. And a lot of times I'll just add notes to the video, like, hey, you need to think about this. Hey, you need to think about this. I don't want you to actually answer anything. Just as you're watching, think about something, and perhaps I'll add an open-ended question or two so that the kid actually types some stuff on there. But beyond that, Webs, is kind of how I keep it kind of simple.
Yeah, I think it follows the same kind of general theme we've been talking about for like a year now, which is doing higher quality stuff and doing less of it is far better than trying to do quantity over quality.
Big facts. So with that finish button, right? Cool. And in terms of your classes, everything is here is built in Google Classroom by default. I'm going to add a class, connect LMS class. All right. You have the other Edpuzzle LMSs. So what does that mean? Inside this deal here, I'm the only person in the class. You're going to have to go in, because this is a workroom, not a Infinite Campus class. Infinite Campus is going to go and staff this class for you. So you're not going to have to worry about that at all. Go ahead, Webs.
What is the difference between a workroom and a course?
So think about it like a sandbox, right? So your workroom is essentially a sandbox type scenario in which you can go and build everything. It's not going to be manually connected to whatever the rostering software that you have connected to Canvas is. So it's not going to.
Can I make a workroom into a course, or can I copy a workroom to a course? What's the benefit of doing my work in a workroom?
So you can copy the workroom into a course if you needed to. This is summer school, so there was no roster for me, and we didn't have to use Canvas for summer school. So what I did was manually invite every student to this particular workroom as a student so they could access everything. So my students are in the workroom. It's just not, this part of the situation isn't rostered, and I'm not going to go and I didn't go through the steps. I don't use Edpuzzle enough. I'm not going to use it enough during summer school to have them, go and manually roster them inside of Edpuzzle. Wasn't one of the hustles, in my opinion. So during the regular school year, you will have that. Once you bridge your Edpuzzle with your course, you will have those kids automatically rostered in your Edpuzzle. You're not going to have to worry about that at all, if you use it. And Edpuzzle is being the district level Edpuzzle is being purchased, or they've been given the access to Canvas. So you're going to have all the rights to do everything that you need with Edpuzzle. So you're not going to have to worry about that. All right. Classroom Cast is the same hustle. And this LTI was being wonky last week. Yes, and it's still being wonky. So, Classroom Cast is the newest video linkage to your deal here. I'm actually gonna see if it works. And we're a little bit over, but I'm almost finished. So Classroom Cast is the newest one. I'm just gonna make it a page really good. No, make it a, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but it is what it is.
Classroom Cast is a PBS product, right?
It's not a PBS product. It's managed by PBS. It's actually what's the people called? Can't remember the actual name of the company that runs it, but it has a lot of promise. It was the way that I did my distance learning or distance education with my team the entire year. I think it has a lot of promise. I think as a place to make your own videos, if you are a teacher, it is a place if you're going to upload original content to do so. In terms of YouTube, in order to acquire other people's content that's pre-made, YouTube is far, far better of a place to go and acquire things. But in terms of making your own video, I think it has its abilities. So I can come inside here very quickly. I'm gonna go to view all, and I'm gonna see all of the stuff that's embedded inside here. So I can deal with Canvas, Adobe Spark, and Canvas Studio, and all that kind of stuff like that. So if I want to go and build my Discovery education inside here, cool, great. I can build my Discovery Ed right inside there. So I believe it should work fine. And I don't know why that didn't work in the doggone settings, but it is what it is. Yes, continue. It should work right inside the window. There it is. All right, so you'd sign in, you'd be able to place that content directly onto the page. All right, cool. Yes, I don't care about that. And perhaps I didn't. Did I not? All right. Oh, settings. Yes, leave. All right. Yes, classroom class is there. That's mad weird. It's very interesting. All right. It's just being stupid. It is what it is. I don't need, in terms of classroom cast, I don't need to be able to actually embed it that way. I hit that share button just like, so you see this is YouTube like. I can copy the link. Or if I'm the person who actually built the video, I can go to the embed code. So this is just me doing a little film project when the students had to do. I can go actually into my videos up here. Where's my managed videos? Yep, not managed events. Where's my managed videos? Oh,
I can always tell when we're getting toward the end of the episode because Koufax will come in and just stare at me.
It's like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, because it's his dinner time.
Indeed. Anyway,
so like,
hit the share button, copy that, and you can drop that.
That's
the exact same.
That's what's looking at me right now.
Oh, cool.
He's like, excuse me, sir. I'm gonna need you to feed me now.
And also, Koufax. I do love Sandy Koufax, so I got some love for Sandy Koufax. That works. Other Dodger players, not so much.
What about Albert Pujols? He was a card for so long.
Albert Pujols is there we go. So I use the iframe generator. Take it. Albert Pujols is a trader, but anyway, I can take that and embed that directly into the deal. So I don't actually need. And the iframe generator should be, if you're using Canvas, should be something that is bookmarked on your device. As to, I will go in default to iframe generator when necessary. I hate when I overcomplicate that. Yeah, there we go. So, bada bing. I'm just gonna throw this right inside here very quickly. I'm not gonna worry about adding any frills to it. Click. There we go. Embed code. And the thing is, the thing to always remember, Webs, at least in my opinion, is like there have to be 12 billion ways to skin a cat. The right way isn't the only way, in quotation marks. So again, this is that entire page, which gives us some benefits as well. So say you have a situation in which kids need access to other videos on your site. I can also, now that's the entire website. If I would click that again, takes me to that video. I'm good to go. Rather than simply taking that one video and dropping it inside there. Do I lose some of the functionality of the actual embedding of just the one video? Yeah, but do I really care at this point? No, because the video I want is there. All right, so the only other video deal I would deal with is Annotate TV. We mentioned this like a long time ago, but this is one of my favorite tools of all time. One of my, and Maddie, the guy who runs Annotate TV, if you're telling me you're a teacher, he'll charge you $2 a month in order to store your videos for unlimited videos. So you're paying $24 a year to be able to store unlimited videos and essentially do what Edpuzzle does, but do it on a cooler level. And why is it my deal? Where's my stuff here? All right, Maddie, we got a problem. My stuff is disappeared. Okay. We got a problem, Houston. Let me go back. Let me take that one. Where are my annotations at, Maddie? Where are my annotations at, bro? Okay, that only has one. My annotations are gone. Okay, that one has 3. So anyway, the thing I like about his deal is it's very intuitive. The YouTube videos live right there in the top. And if I needed to build what I generally did with this was I built all of the processes or notes that I had here on the left hand side, and when you click on them, they take you directly to that part. Yes, with very, very much what like. So again, you can do 5 for free, but for $24, if you're going to be using video, like hopefully you're going to be using video, to be able to embed things there is cool. The other thing is, if I wanted to build something else, it's Learning Media proper. The website are highlighted here. I want to add something else in there. I hate that. What to do? I have to go in. There's a formatting deal that doesn't like. Anyway, I can embed other stuff inside there. I can auto transcript it, which I can link inside here. So if I wanted to really teach off of this, which I did a lot for the kindergartners, some of the earlier videos, you can build in the Annotate TV, that same deal. All right. Because one of the things that I have experienced with the littles, especially, is you need to make it as visual, as linear as possible as well, and keep videos. If the grown-up, that whatever grown-up they were going to deal with is going to help them out, you can deal with that as well. You'll see that my other videos are there as well in addition. That one Thursday, we're going to kind of look at streaming and why you want to do streaming with Canvas, because I have some ideas about that and why it doesn't have to be a hyper difficult process. I think when people think of streaming, they think of what we're doing right now, Webs, which I think is absolutely positively wrong. You can do streaming very easily, because I think also kind of to what you said previously, Webs, when you're on video and you're also talking to people like we're talking right now, you also have this like really cool dynamic in which you're exchanging ideas, and it's a lot more entertaining than you just sitting on the video walking somebody through something.
Yeah, I think too, if you can rope a partner in, one of the things we've clearly learned is like it's far more interesting to have a person to talk to and for other people to watch multiple people talk than it is for someone to just explain a thing or share their opinion on their own. Like the most popular podcast format is basically two dudes talking.
And you could stream either right before school, right after school, bring the other math teacher in, talk whatever, bring the other English teacher in or whatever. We're going to have a 25-minute conversation about Oedipus Rex. Far more entertaining than you standing in front of a bunch of students saying we're going to talk about Oedipus Rex ad nauseum. There are a bunch of tools out there that really allow you to do that easily without you having to do too much thinking. If you know the subject, you're just going to talk and you don't have to worry about too much of anything else. All right, so that's what we'll do on Thursday. Streaming and kind of looking at the idea of streaming, not literally. All right, because again, people think of streaming as this live thing. Nope, it's just video being shot into a certain space at a certain time. It's got nothing to do with live, because live, but think about it like, or if you did watch network TV, what did they say during those sitcoms? Filmed in front of a live studio audience. Like, it wasn't live, it was live at some point, but it wasn't, when you're watching it, it's not actually those people doing that for the first time. So if we use that, filmed in front of a live studio audience idea of a stream, then certainly our imaginations can expand a lot, to be a lot deeper. All right. Any closing thoughts, Webs?
No, I'm good. Keep it simple.
Indeed. Matt, that is the key. You're going to be inundated with all kind of stuff this summer with, hey, do this and this and this and other thing. Keep it mad simple. Keep it your style. If you have not, and I will say this as my closing thought, Webs, if you've not read Ted Williams, The Science of Hitting, whether you're a baseball fan or not, I'm going to proclaim this right now on this show, Webs. It is the greatest distance learning textbook that I have read this year.
All right, now I gotta go read it.
Science of Hitting. Just got another copy of it in the mail because last week or the week before last, I mentioned it and I was like, hey, I haven't read that book in like 20 years. reading the book now as a teacher, I'm like, dude, this guy's a freaking genius. Anyway, that is The Hustle. I'm gonna do the thing. We'll catch you next week. Oh, not next week, on Thursday. Also,
yep.
the Desus and Mero, which is kind of the spirit animal of this show, their first new episode.
Patronus. Spirit animal isn't really a thing we should be saying.
Okay, whatever. Patronus, Harry Potter thing, whatever it is. I want to say the ancestor of this show. Like, this is kind
that
of
works.
The ancestor of this show. Anyway, they have a new episode tonight. So if you're into like weird, quirky, you will see kind of where I stole a lot of their swag. So shout out to Desus and Mero tonight. Showtime if you have it. Show's on like right now, actually. All right, deuces.
Okay.